On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
AIOs and AIM data is now in your IRL GSC.
And we voice our opinions on the new Search Live experiment.
Google Ads' new bid strategy is a blast from the past.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Jess Budd.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on June 23rd, 2025.
Woohoo!
We are back at it with an in-person episode, thank God.
Back after SMX. If you want to hear about our journeys and travels, listen to the post show. At the end of this, we go in depth into our amazing experience.
Retweet.
And speaking of amazing experiences, what would you say if I told you that AI overviews in AI mode is coming to Google Search Console?
I would
Good?
say good.
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wrong.
What?
Wrong.
Wrong as in it's bad?
Let me explain what is happening.
Okay.
Google is going to be bringing AI overviews, or is bringing, it's in there, AIOs and AI mode impressions and clicks into Google Search Console. However, unlike news or images, it is going to be pulled into all the normal search. You're not going to be able to slice and dice this. If you were to think of the best way to do it, it should be pretty simple. We've got news, anything on different tabs, right? Like AI mode is a different tab. Barry made that point in articles last month. This is going to be pulled straight into the search. So let me ask you a question. If you are in an AI overview that is above the SERPs, and you're one of 5 links, let's say you're number 5 in the AI overviews, what position would you be?
I think they need to completely rejigger.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
5, yeah.
1. You're position 1.
All 5 are position 1?
Correct. Now, the way that it will work is if your little card, it's sort of a carousel sometimes, and on desktop it can be more card-like. If that shows up, you get an impression. If it shows you and another person and it is showing that card, you get an impression. If it says and 3 more, and you're one of the 3 more, you do not get an impression until somebody clicks to see the more.
Are you still in position 1 but with 0 impressions?
In AI overviews, yes.
It works differently than search. You can't do this.
Now, when you go to AI mode, if you're a list that of results there, and there's 5 different citations, and you are number 5 in AI mode, what number do you get?
I'm guessing 1 because it works the same as AI overviews.
Everybody thinks 5. That's what Glenn gave.
It should be
assuming.
5.
Correct.
But it should be 5 in the other one too.
No,
Are they ever going to tell us and make it clear, or are we just always going to be guessing?
This
This
will
is terrible.
fundamentally break Google Search Console as we know it, in my mind.
People won't trust it.
So in AI mode, you see a right-hand rail that shows up many times, and it's a carousel on mobile. And if you're in the carousel, or if you're in the right-hand rail and showing, where typically like 2 or 3 will show, 2 on mobile, you get an impression in your position 1. If you're in the AI mode section, you do not get an impression until somebody clicks on the citation and makes it to see your card. Is that clear as day to you?
No.
Or no? But mixing all these things in with actual search makes zero sense with traditional search, which is why we know that traditional search is going away.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this mean for you? If you do really well in something like AI mode or AI overviews and you are shown, you get an impression. So if there's a result that shows like ESPN and Wikipedia and then 3 more, ESPN, Wikipedia, if those cards are shown, gives you an impression. You will not get impressions, even if you're in position 1, until somebody hits more, then you get an impression in your position 1. So if you are doing well in AI mode, you will see a massive decoupling of your clicks and your impressions, because every time you show, you will get an impression, but we know that those clicks typically aren't at the same rate as traditional search.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost to this point where you want to see your impressions jump sky high over your clicks, because it means you're in AI mode and you're showing up first. You're getting those impressions. At least you're getting an impression. It's like almost the currency now. It's like, hey, I got an impression, which is just a wild way to think. And by not being able to split anything out, the data is just a mess. And anything that you've done from a reporting standpoint with anything search is changed forever.
Yeah. Because you could still be in position 1 in the traditional SERPs, and now you're what?
1.
6?
No, you're still 1.
So you're 1 if you're in AI overviews, and you're 1 if you're number 1 in the just regular results?
I believe that's the case.
That doesn't make sense either. But at least I guess from a reporting standpoint, it's consistent.
So I'm just going to give away the must-read marketing article of the week. It's from Glenn Gabe, of course, over at gsqi.com. It's called How Google's AI Mode is Tracked in Google Search Console, Desktop and Mobile Examples. It was from March, but he updated it with all the new documentation. I would say to go read that if you have questions, because this is clear as mud. This is going to be a problem if you use this for any type of intelligence. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute disaster. And the thing is, they could just make this AI traffic tab, and then everybody will understand it. We still have traditional search today, and that would make sense, and you'd still have the same metrics, but your data is going to be severely different than it has ever been.
It's going to be bonkers.
And you're just going to be guessing on everything.
Yeah. What does 1 mean?
Right.
Right. So if you're now number 1, you're going to see far less clicks. So you look at 1 and you need to say, like, I'm not that worried about the clicks. I just need to be showing up so I have at least a shot to get somebody. But no, it's a disaster. It gets worse.
Perfect.
Because last week, or this week rather, or last week, it's coming out on Monday, Google is testing audio overviews. And what these are is, if you haven't had enough AI, and I don't know how on earth this is going to be tracked positionally, whatever, there is a Search Labs test that you can apply to be in, and you can Google a question, and instead of clicking on an AI overview or a traditional link, Google will turn what it finds on the web into an audio answer for you.
Reading you the AI overview, basically?
Making up whatever it wants.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to hear this in action?
Yes, I do.
So listen closely for the citations that they use in this case here, all right? Because in this case, there were, I think, 4 citations. So when we're thinking about this from like a traffic standpoint, maybe they're really doing a good job on that, helping to send more traffic to the web, like they always say. Okay, so you hit generate audio content. It's saying it's looking at intent, researching websites. And I just put in a search for, now it's generating transcript. I put in a search for marketing o'clock.
Ooh, I know them.
The thing that's so cringe to me is it's fake people making a conversation.
Oh.
And it just said generating audio, and we can see all the citations here from where they're pulling it from: Podbean, YouTube, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, looks like Spotify. Here is the audio overview. Here we go.
Ever feel like you're drowning in the never-ending stream of digital marketing news?
Yes.
Trying to keep up with the latest SEO updates, PPC strategies, and social media trends?
Oh, absolutely. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose, isn't it?
Totally. And that's where
I'm gonna
Marketing
throw
O'Clock
up.
comes in. It's this awesome podcast that breaks down all the noise and gives you the stuff that actually matters.
Exactly. It's like having your own personal digital marketing news decoder.
So what exactly makes Marketing O'Clock stand out from all the other marketing podcasts out there?
Well, first off, it's the Cypress North team. They're a full service digital agency, so they're actually in the trenches doing this stuff every day.
Right? They're not just talking heads. They're actually implementing these strategies and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Exactly.
How creepy is this?
Wow.
Okay, you want to keep going?
It's
Yeah.
really corny. I don't know if I can.
They sound like
And
podcasters,
they're
but like not
afraid
good
to
ones.
Share their opinions, even if they're a little controversial. Plus, they've got this great mix of humor and sass that keeps things entertaining.
Where'd they read
It's
that?
not just dry news reporting. It's like hanging out with your marketing buddies and shooting the breeze about the latest industry happenings.
So, what kind of topics do they usually cover on the podcast?
Oh, everything under the sun when it comes to digital marketing, SEO, PPC, social media, content marketing,
confused.
analytics, the whole thing.
Can I say something? This is vastly different than when I listened to it yesterday.
And
Really?
didn't
Is it
seem
better?
at first like she knew things about us and now she's asking him all the questions?
Yeah, they've gone back and forth between
It's
that
so
for sure.
confusing.
She's like, oh, I totally
Stop.
understand. I need help, but I know
If
everything.
this was a conversation, wouldn't it be like her asking him questions or the other way around?
Yeah.
For sure.
It's almost like that uncanny valley where they're like so close to being human, but they're so off that it just makes you feel so disgusting.
I just really like when AI talks to each other.
Do you want to keep going on this?
Figure out the latest Google algorithm update, they've got you covered.
Absolutely. Or if you're trying to wrap your head around the latest changes to Facebook ads, they'll break it down for you in plain English.
What about the bonus Marketing O-Talk panels?
Oh, those are awesome.
They didn't talk about that last time. That's crazy. Wow.
To do a deep dive into specific topics. It's a great way to get different perspectives and learn from the best in the biz.
Okay, I'm sold. Where can people find Marketing O'Clock?
Pretty much everywhere podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, you name it. They're also on YouTube.
Google Podcast doesn't exist anymore, for the record.
Oh,
By the way, Google AI should know
For
that.
Watch Your Podcasts.
And they're active on social media, right?
Yep. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. They share all the latest episodes, plus bonus content and behind the scenes stuff.
So it's not just a podcast, it's a whole community.
Exactly. It's a great way to stay connected to the digital marketing world and learn from some really smart people.
This sounds like the perfect podcast for anyone who wants to stay on top of their game in digital marketing.
I couldn't agree more. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Marketing O'Clock has something for everyone.
So if you're looking for a fun, informative, and slightly irreverent take on digital
Irreverent.
marketing news, give Marketing O'Clock a listen. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. It's the perfect way to stay up to date on all the latest trends and strategies without feeling like you're back in school.
To learn more, check out the listed sources below.
At the very end, they say, check out the sources.
what are the sources?
I told you this.
Oh, is that-
YouTube
okay, yeah.
and Apple. But funny enough, last time I typed that in, iTunes was like number one. Now it was YouTube, which is wild. So it makes it up on the spot.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like we want AI to save us time.
Yeah, that was
And now they're
lengthy.
doing this like reverse thing where it's like, no, AI is the people. And I just don't know who's asking for that.
I just don't. When I want an answer to a question, I'm not going to listen to that
Right.
whole thing. Like
I want it fast.
Yeah, I
See,
loved what they said about us. Very nice things, but
Yes, they're not real. Okay.
I have a hard time with that. I personify everything.
Jess is like, "Ah," and it's like,
I
this is
can't-
robot.
I can't have a stuffed animal upside down because it can't breathe. I flip him over. Like I'm having a hard time with this. Like,
I was trying very hard to get it to fire for Anthony Higman. I can't get it to fire for him, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
That would be awesome. I don't know. I think for some people, this will be very helpful, right? Like if you're at your computer and trying to get an answer for something and you've got headphones in, I would use this. I mean, not this version of it because it's
Yeah,
so creepy
that's
and
a
so
lot.
weird. But I think this is one more step away from zero traffic, like zero click.
Yeah, is that even an impression? How do we report on that?
So that has those little cards in there. YouTube was one. I think Podbean was two. Those two will get an impression. And then if you swipe over, the other ones will get an impression. I have no idea what ranking that would be, though. And I'm assuming that those will come in. Maybe not, though, because it's a brand new thing and you got to be in Search Lab. So maybe that doesn't even come in. Nobody knows anymore.
Can you ask them to explain it to us?
Ooh.
Okay, so I Googled explain where Google audio overviews are reported in Google Search Console, and it is now generating a new audio overview for me. Researching websites. It takes a long time too. Like that's, I think, is right now the biggest drawback of this and how robotic they sound.
Yeah, well, they have to call up the actors and be like, yo, are you available to answer some questions?
Right.
Have a combo about it.
Okay, so let's let an audio overview explain where audio overviews show in Google Search Console. And warning, this is probably wrong.
So Google's throwing these audio summaries into search results now, huh? Are publishers able to track this in Search Console?
Well, the short answer is sort of. Google's definitely counting the data from these audio overviews within Search Console, but it's not giving us a neat separate report. It's all lumped together with your regular search data.
Oh, great. So it's a bit of a mixed bag then. How can you tell if audio overviews are sending traffic to your site?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Since it's blended in with everything else, there's no official way to segment out the audio overview traffic. Some SEOs are trying to get creative with filters, though.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of filters are we talking?
The idea is to identify the types of queries that are more likely to trigger audio overviews.
That's
Think
impossible.
longer, more conversational
could you-
searches.
That's impossible. I typed in marketing a clock to get ours. That's not a longer, more conversational query.
Certainly not. Wow.
You could try filtering by word count and also by keywords like what, why, how.
Okay, that makes sense. So long.
No, you can just type in a generic name and it'll be like, it'll show you one. I typed in like CrossFit and it's like, here's what it is. There's a WOD, which is workout of the day.
Why does it have to be two people talking?
Queries with
Every
question
time
marks.
it says.
Exactly. It's not a perfect science, but it might give you a general idea of how those AI-powered results are.
Anyway, I think this is terrible for people who need traffic. It could be helpful for people that are like really into fake human being robots explaining things incorrectly to them.
And it doesn't need to be a back and forth. An overview is not a conversation. An overview is like a couple sentences max. I don't like it.
All I know is more zero-click traffic will come from this.
Okay, so I have another thing to share that I don't even want to hypothesize how it's going to show up in Search Console.
Just no more of that audio stuff, please, Jess.
Okay, well, it's audio related, but instead of listening to two non-humans talk to each other, you can, as a human, you can talk to a non-human. So this is more conversational and you participate. So Google's rolling out the talk and listen version of Search Live in the Google app. It is not, if you tuned into I.O., the version that Google previewed with the camera. That is coming. This isn't it. This is just audio. Users who opt into the AI mode test can now have a free-flowing back and forth conversation with Search and explore links from across the web, says Google. So there's a video with an example of how it works, and you really are just basically talking to your phone. In the example, they talk about how to avoid wrinkles when packing, and the first tip is to roll your clothes instead of fold.
Oh, you needed this last week.
Right? Well, I tried that tip for SMX, and my clothes were still wrinkly.
It
So
seems wrong.
yeah. I don't know. There was something about like putting tissue paper in between creases to avoid. It was specific to linen, so maybe that was my problem. I wear a lot of cotton. I had some silk.
I think we need to accept that, like, there's gonna be wrinkles when you're packing.
You had silk for
I-
SMX?
Silk tank
For
top.
lingerie.
My lingerie that I wore on the ladies' night show. I wear it with a thing, and it's not lingerie at all. Anyway,
Nah.
it's very professional.
Mhm.
I accessorize with it, but also hotels should just have a little mini steamer, just like they do a hairdryer. I feel like that would be fair. Anyway,
They
Great.
have irons.
who's using an iron?
I use
Yeah,
irons.
They
in
need
hotels.
to upgrade it. Yeah, but
Really?
you have to in a hotel.
What
yeah.
if you burn your shirt? You don't have another one
Do you guys do the trick of like hanging your garment in the bathroom?
in the
I
shower. That
tried.
was
It
one of the
never
examples
works.
Google. Yeah, that was a tip Google gave. It works kind of. You have to like
It makes it
stretch,
10% better.
which I really could have used last week. to be
Circling back
honest.
to your lingerie, we're going long. It's important for you at conferences. We need to remember for the next one, you need to be able to access your full sleeve because everyone wants to
Mm,
see it. So you needed that tank top.
Thank you.
You
You're
know?
right.
You
I-
could not wear this to a conference.
No, well, people don't, because of the way I sit, people don't see my tattoo on the show, which I didn't
know.
realize.
We should have.
Yeah.
And I've got a picture of you and Lauren, aka Dark Crystal from the
Hey, girl.
SEMrush team, now not Third Door team. You guys have like both have like peonies
We
on
do.
your arm sleeves. It's
We're
crazy.
kindred spirits. We
Mhm.
found each other. It was a very nice moment. Yeah, I didn't realize people didn't know. I also don't like think about it. It's just part of me. But thank you for supporting my clothes
Wait,
choices.
should I get a sleeve? I'm like,
You should get.
I'm
We've
going
been
to
talking
get it.
about this for years.
you're good on it?
Yes. and an entire back piece.
I don't know. I don't want somebody to be like, oh, this guy's not professional or something.
Is that what people say about me, Greg?
No, I'm just wondering, like.
Is that what stopped you in the past?
Yeah, probably.
Really? You should get a tramp stamp then.
I mean,
you can only
not
show it
like-
when you want.
Yeah, that's perfect. I just get a little butterfly.
You should get like a write-up of how AI overviews show in Search Console.
Then when
What?
it's updated tomorrow, his tattoo is out of date.
Literally, what if it's Glenn Gabe's blog post? Just tattooed on my arm.
that's
It's
so good.
like, yeah, I have a question. Like, just go reference Greg's arm.
Just check it out. That is amazing. Anyway, yeah, so it's a conversation, which I feel like could be useful in the moment when you are packing. It's actually a great example. If you don't want to pick up your phone and stop what you're doing and start typing, you can just very easily talk to Google and get some tips while you're packing.
Huge
Whatever.
deal. This is a huge deal. I use it, ChatGPT. It's very nice. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Less
and then-
clicks, though.
Does
Less
that sound like
clicks.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. It was
No,
a man
it
in the
doesn't.
video. I think, did you just hear my stomach rumble? It's probably all over the audio.
But it's got like a cool little visual and stuff too when you do it.
Yeah, if you're actually looking at your phone, it like does pull up the citations so you can click them.
What is Marketing O'Clock? This is ChatGPT, by the way.
Marketing O'Clock is a weekly podcast that covers the latest in digital marketing news, including SEO, PPC, and social media
This is
updates.
just our-
Hosted by the team at Cypress North, the show provides insights and discussions on current trends and strategies in the industry.
That's an
good.
audio overview.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what we
good.
want.
Who's on it?
I'm glad that was helpful. So, what would you like to follow up on?
Who is
Maybe
on?
something about marketing podcasts?
No.
Are you thinking of diving into a particular topic? From
No,
that
I'm not.
show?
Who is on the show?
Marketing O'Clock is hosted by Greg Finn, Jessica Buddy, and Christine Shep Zernheld. They discuss the latest in digital marketing news,
I
including
love Jessica
SEO,
Buddy.
PPC, and social media updates.
Wow, shots fired at Julia.
That's pretty good. Oh,
But
yeah.
I feel like that's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminded me of another fear I have about AI. We're going long. So I'll like talk to Siri in the car and be like, play this song. But I have toddlers who are learning how to speak to people. And I should say please.
You should say please,
It
even though
takes
it
more
burns.
time. You-
Yeah.
I know,
killing
but
the
that's
world.
bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
What
When the
AI
machines
that
come.
I think that
Mhm.
these like little kids who are growing up in the age of AI and like that's how they hear us talking AI, it's going to be a problem.
You should
I agree.
always be polite to the machines because when they take over, they will remember.
Right. And kill
They'll-
you.
or what if they come get you and be
They'll
like,
kill you more softly.
they're like, hey, you caused 2.5% less efficiency because you put these words in, you're dead.
Oh no, I never thought of it that way.
Mhm.
We're screwed.
Either way,
Either way.
good move for Google. And
I
a
agree.
huge move, honestly. Like if you have a Google app and you can just talk to it and it just talks back to you, that is a big help like I do with ChatGPT there.
Yeah. Do you ever do you get like citations in
Nope.
ChatGPT and click up? No.
Nope.
Okay. So trouble for
Everyone.
websites, but
Yes.
helpful in the moment.
Wrapping up the main news, our new best friend, Dario Zanoni, spotted something very interesting in the Google Help Center. This is a document called About Target CPC Bidding for Demand Gen. Target cost per click, TCPC bidding, is an automated bid strategy that sets bids for you to get as many clicks as possible at your target efficiency. So it says it works similar to Target CPA, but focuses on the cost of your clicks rather than the cost of your conversions. So again, only for demand gen. My mind is just reeling though, because isn't it kind of like manual bidding, which they're trying to get rid of?
Yeah.
I feel like they're training us to care more about the cost per click than the cost per conversion.
Which is how it used to be.
Like, who cares what cost the results come in? My clicks are cheap.
This is blowing my
They're
mind.
brainwashing us.
Yeah.
I love it.
What? Well, I mean, yeah, because we don't have manual bidding anymore, but like it kind of is manual bidding. So like, why get rid of it if you're going to do this?
Well, to me, I think the biggest thing is demand gen. A lot of the options in there are not middle funnel or bottom of funnel. It's top of funnel. And I feel like that's like a flawed thing where you always have to go towards conversions with demand gen. And they came out with that conversion comparable column where you can see like, because Google Ads has so many touch points within it, right? You've got search, you've got remarketing, and then you've got demand gen, and trying to drive more top of funnel traffic with a target of conversions when we have so many other steps that Google can cover. Like Facebook doesn't have those steps to cover, right? Facebook is like, we're going to get you interested in this, but we don't have this option of when somebody's searching for it. And a lot of that search can wipe out the conversion from demand gen. So to me, I think that makes sense, especially if you've got like lookalike audiences and you're trying to get more traffic and it just can't hit these targets that you're putting out there. You could say, this is my lookalike audience. I have it on narrow and it's something I'm really care about, but it's top of funnel. And I know it can't hit some of our normal conversion sort of goals. You could say, because I know I trust this audience, I want to drive more top of funnel. I still think you should come up with a better offer, come up with something lighter. Like Shep and I have a client where we just set up this huge, like lightweight conversion that gets them in the system. That's always the best way to go. But if you don't have that, you could still say, I love this in-market audience. I want to target this in-market audience. And I want the click cost to be about $1. And then you can go through, use that platform comparable column and you can see how it works. But demand gen is like fundamentally flawed when you're going towards conversions because it's top of funnel and because Google has so many other middle and bottom of funnel options.
I take my shriek back. That was very well.
No, I agree. I think I'm going to use it in that account, but I just think it's so weird that we're getting back to where we started with manual bidding, but they're getting rid of real manual bidding and now they're just calling it Target CPC. You know?
Taking a little control
like
away.
It's very meta to me. My mind is blown.
I agree. Guys, this is a very informative show.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's Cool Tool is a double whammy because I'm feeling spammy. And it's not spam at all. So listen up. Reddit has some new stuff for us. They have dropped details on a couple of things that are in the alpha stage, so coming soon. The first is Reddit Insights, which is a social listening tool that turns Reddit's data into actionable insights. So you could use it for real-time campaign planning, product feedback, brand sentiment, things like that. And then this is really cool, but I'm a little bit wary of it. The Conversation Summary Add-ons, which is a new feature for ads that surfaces real Redditor posts beneath the ad. And it creates a basically built-in social proof. And according to Reddit, it will increase CTR. I hope there's some controls involved with that because that could be really scary for brands, but it does add validity if done right. So I think that's really cool. So these are tools that are coming, if not already available to you in Reddit. So check them out if you can. As always, we'll have the link in our newsletter as well as on Discord. So pick your poison.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from the one and only Lily Ray. More on her later. We had our It's New show on June 17th, where we were trying to get our heads around the AI overviews versus AI mode versus opening up citations versus impressions versus what counts, where does it count position-wise. And I just quote tweeted to promote the show saying, I still don't know how the reporting in GSC works. And just whatever that emoji is, shrug emoji. To which Lily Ray said, that's by design, winking face.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. She's right. Mm-hmm. She doesn't miss. No notes.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, Julie Bacchini at Neptune Moon posted on X. She's talking about phrase match in Google Ads and how it is these days versus how it used to be. And she said, was going to reply, phrase match is the new broad, but I think a more accurate is phrase is the old broad, or maybe the old broad match modified. Love your thoughts on this. And Ginny Marvin replied and said, you're right on broad match modified. And this was something that I had forgotten too. In February, when they got rid of broad match modified, Google Ads began to incorporate the behaviors of broad match modified into phrase match. So it does kind of make sense how phrase match is like so sucky lately. It's just broad match modified.
That's a big swear for you.
I used to love broad match modified.
I'm laughing at that's a big swear for you. Sucky.
It kind of
sucky,
is.
yeah.
Kind of is.
She doesn't talk like that.
I've
She's
been
a lady.
watching Love Island, so I'm like, I'm like a new person. I'm,
What does that mean? What
You should start wearing
lingerie.
lingerie on the show.
It's just like really inappropriate. I can't believe that the FCC is okay with this.
Like, what do they say? Just an example.
Well, it's not really what they're saying. It's more what I'm seeing.
Oh, you talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
A body part.
Nobody's wearing clothes.
I believe the technical word that you said was butthole.
No! She said butt
I
cheeks.
said butt cheeks.
Oh, butt cheeks. Close.
I think
Not close.
Set.
Not close.
No, hole is when you get bleeped out.
Oh,
Like
they have
when you
to bleep
say
that.
a-hole,
Mm.
Okay, Tavis,
they
make
keep
sure
the
that
A part, but then they bleep out the hole.
make sure the H word is bleeped out in my.
I just call it a BH, but then
No.
you name your campaigns business hours
I
and
know.
put BH on them, and I just I'm so
My favorite
confused.
thing. She thinks I have all these campaigns labeled BH for business hours. And she thinks it stands for butthole.
bleep that one too, Tabes. So it's just butt cheeks.
I'm sure in person there is a lot of BH happening. That is censored out for the show. But these women are never they're in bathing suits all the time, and none of them are like anywhere near full coverage.
Wait, what's the name of the show again?
Love Island. And then they're like doing challenges, and it's like, oh, we're playing baseball. Let's put these women in these like crazy bikini bottoms that somehow fit pockets, but don't cover any of their butt.
There's
Like,
pockets in the bikini.
I don't know how there was space for the pockets. And then there were lumberjacks. They were hot lumberjacks. Same thing. The pockets must be like this big. Like they took pockets from toddler shorts.
Did we see BCs on the lumberjacks or no?
Yes. Cheeks for days. Cheeks for days. But there's something really endearing about it.
Okay, so they're playing baseball.
Yes, but every base is just another guy that you're like in a little pool with, like smooching.
I love this for you, Shep. I love this for you.
In between the bases, they're like twerking and doing the splits.
This is like an X-rated banana ball.
But
version.
then what's worse than what you're actually seeing them do is then they go back to the villa and they're like unpacking the day, talking to people, and they don't shower for seemingly hours after they just sprayed each other with ketchup and mustard. It's so crazy.
They just stand around all gross.
Yes. Like they were doing a pie in the face challenge where you flipped a coin, you either smooch someone or pied their face. They all just had the whipped cream dried on their face for hours.
We can't
Can
talk
this
about
girl
what I
get a
want to
makeup
talk about.
wipe? It's so crazy. Anyway, Joe Schmo agrees.
Don't besmirch his good name.
At the Joe Schmo, I'm seeing site links. This is a whole journey, you guys. He was in his account. He was seeing site links in his assets tab that he did not create. And dynamic site links were disabled. So he's like, what's going on? Replied to his own tweet. Someone called it a thread. He said, you're not going to believe this. I noticed that there is a structured snippet in the account that has language similar to the site links he's seeing. So he disabled the structured snippet and the site link went away. This is better than watching Love Island, you guys, reading this thread.
This is drama.
Reading Joe reply to himself.
Speaking of assets,
Then he said, I'm going to re-enable the snippet and check now. Separate post. Site links are back. So your structured snippet can be used as a site link.
what?
This is
It
not
is
funny. We're
real.
laughing so hard. This is terrible.
This is horrible.
Oh,
I just think structured snippets in general, like, is this a hot take? Like, why do they still exist?
I thought they were so cool when they
don't
came out.
work for anyone.
Yeah.
Why can't you pick your own?
You have to like force it to
Label.
work. Like you have to make it work.
Yeah, like my service area for B2B SaaS. Like, no.
World.
So stupid.
Oh, that'd be a great site link. World. So dumb. Just make site links a thing. And it's all going to go to the same final URL, which is incorrect in most of the cases. Like if you're saying, I sell compact cars, I sell luxury cars, and all of a sudden that turns into a site link for something that's maybe dealers or brand specific, it's not going to go to those things because there's no link associated with it. That's what site links are for. Link is in the fucking name.
Oh, ooh. But it's better than sending people to the careers page, which the automatically added assets will do. So next up, update from AdSquire, the wonderful people over there.
Wait, it's from AdSquire? Actually?
No,
Yeah.
they reported the news.
Wow.
Yeah. New YouTube ads optimization that is follow-on views for demand gen campaigns, targeting users who are more likely to keep watching your YouTube content after seeing an ad. Sounds like something we should try for Marketing O'Clock. Dario Zanoni, ever heard of him? I have.
Met him.
We hung out. New round of AI solutions for ads officially announced by Meta. So the first one he's highlighting here is video generation. So you can use generative AI to create multi-scene video from multiple images provided by the user. So there was an example where it was like a cosmetics company and she was doing like a whole 12-step skincare routine just from the images. So Dario's impressed by it. I just hope you can like watch the video they put together and it's not just a shot in the dark. Next up, features recently released as beta or experiments are branding. So you can add your brand preferences to Meta Ads Manager for your ads. There's also video highlights that automatically create and show thumbnails of important parts of a video and creative sticker calls to action. And also business AIs let an AI chat and respond to questions from users to increase engagement. That one sounds you're going to have like AI just represent your company.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And it's not even yours. It's Meta.
Mm-mm.
Don't like that one. Thanks, Dario. Finally, update from Kirk Williams. He spotted something interesting in Shopify's terms of service. It says partners are not allowed to bid on their trademark terms. He says this has run businesses afoul of the FTC in the past for similar things like 1-800-CONTACTS. Not familiar with that story. So I guess we'll see what happens with this.
Yeah, and we failed to mention him in the post show, but PPC Kirk.
Oh,
was great.
PPC Kirk.
Yeah.
Another America's sweetheart.
Yeah. And we were having like dueling dinners with him. It was funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were heading out and we are like walking on the same path.
And then we all ended up at the restaurant in the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really fun when we pranked you.
Oh
No,
my
it wasn't fun.
gosh. I can't believe that
Greg
you
wasn't
believed
there
us.
the first night, and we told him that we took an Uber to the, what was it called? JP?
MJ O'Connor's.
MJ O'Connor's. We're
Yeah.
regulars.
Actually.
Recommend the falafel wrap.
Yes, highly.
We convinced Greg that we took an Uber to MJ O'Connor.
From the hotel
From
to
the
the
hotel.
restaurant in the hotel, and they said it cost $50. And I'm like, you have to charge that back. Like, what are you guys thinking? Didn't you see the distance? And they just kept trolling me. And they're like, no, the driver's name was Nigel, and he moved from New York, and he like left his wife and son, and he said he had to charge $50. And I'm like, this normally wouldn't get past me, except for the fact that when we went to Brighton, we had an actual issue with a rickshaw where
Yeah.
instead of going maybe a quarter mile max, they took people to the airport. So I'm like just worried about everybody.
But that's on the rickshawist. Like this, we could see from where we were sitting in the lobby telling you the story. We're like, oh, we got picked up right there. We could see the restaurant. You really believed
I
that
did.
we were that dumb?
I had a few drinks and I got up at 3 a.m. All right. I did
Okay,
a terrible job at the show. I was doing my best. And then again, we're going to talk all about SMX at the end of this.
Mhm.
And then it's like 1 a.m. and
A magician put a spell on you. That's
the
what-
magician didn't talk to men, Shep. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, I think
The
that
magician kept saying, do you want to party?
Yeah, that's creepy. I went to bed.
that
I
was
missed this
his
whole thing.
spell.
Yeah. But then Shep and Maggie are like, hey, we're going out around the town at 1 a.m. And-
No, stop. It was Marguerite. It was not me.
It was,
I was
Her
trying to
alter
be
ego.
a girl's girl.
It also
but I
was
ready
only
for
like
bed.
11:30, right? Because that's when I left you.
I don't know. But we were out on the streets of Boston till 1:30. Morty was with us. PPC Greg was with us.
It was the saddest moment of my life. I really wish we weren't talking about it here. We were just begging for some kind of a watering hole to take our money.
Yeah, nothing.
And
Nothing.
Boston is just a dead zone.
Yeah.
it was embarrassing.
Shep told me to go to bed, so I did. I listened.
I
to
wish
Mom.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
had
went to
listened.
bed at like 4 p.m.
I never stopped drinking. That's how you know I really did not feel well. My head hurt.
Okay, well, on to the organic news. 80% of AI search traffic to Ahrefs goes to the homepage, product pages, and free tools, according to Patrick Stocks. There is a very cool little chart that they have showing this, but there's some that are hallucinated, some programmatic, some training things, but the majority of it, the number one thing to them is going to a free tool. Then product pages and home pages. I think it's an interesting look if you want to see how that is happening for a SaaS business. This was a very interesting story covered by Barry Schwartz over at Search Engine Roundtable. Martin Splitt had put out a post on LinkedIn talking about the great decoupling that we talked about earlier. I cannot believe Martin said this. He said, I shouldn't social media when tired. But what he said initially was, so yes, things are being shown in AI overviews. You will probably see less clicks. There is also light at the end of the tunnel. So likely your impressions are going to go up if you're shown in AI overviews or AI mode. Clicks are likely to stagnate or fall a little bit, but likely this might increase your conversions, which is pretty good, I think. Those things don't match.
Mm-mm. At least he ended with, I think. He's leaving room to be wrong.
So he put that post out and then basically said, I shouldn't social media when tired. That part is an observation I made myself and something I guess is going to happen based on a remark somebody recently made in the chat I had during an event. So everything we talked about earlier is probably correct. And don't social media when tired, I guess, as well.
Fair enough.
All right, and from Glenn Gabe, he says 20 million videos are uploaded each day when talking about YouTube, and then said Google confirmed it's using YouTube to train its AI models. Google is using its expansive library of YouTube videos to train Gemini and VO3. Google says it only uses a subset of videos for the training. I don't know about that.
I'm
going to guess if you have like ratty little videos out there like that, like kids are making or something, maybe don't use that. But like, are they using this video right now?
For sure.
We saw it being used in those audio overviews.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get it to, like, maybe we can influence Google and say, Love Island is a show about BCs and maybe a little BH. Maybe we'll see that in the next audio.
I can't wait.
Okay. And from Gagan Gotra, he found a cool AI overview, at least to me, where it's more of a card-based feature that talks about, he had put in a search for high protein lunch ideas. And this really, I thought, focused more on the site and the person making the recipe, who is a sweet pea chef. And the recipe was an avocado turkey hummus wrap. You can see how long it takes to make it. You can see the reviews. I love this. I also think that Inspired Taste, who is I believe a fan of the show, said these come up for some queries, which shows promise, but not on many. The highest traffic queries are recipe-specific intent that are starting to show full Frankenstein AI recipe mashups. I can't think of anything worse. I have a Ninja Creamy, and I did an experiment to see if I could use ChatGPT to make a recipe just because I didn't feel like looking for something. It's at a cup of milk, scoop of protein, a little bit of sweetener, and then a teaspoon of pudding. I made this. I froze it. I put it into my Ninja Creamy. This was on Wednesday. My Ninja Creamy broke.
What?
It broke. It couldn't do it.
It couldn't
do it. And it's like, nobody wants Frankenstein recipes. Nobody wants you to cite recipes. In this case, there are 13 sources. Just give me a recipe. You are a freaking sucky computer. You don't have a taste bud. Buddy.
You don't have a taste buddy.
I want a recipe from somebody that knows what flavor is. I don't want you to take all these different recipes and combine them together and break my Ninja Creamy.
I'm so sorry for your loss. That
I have it
stinks.
on warranty, but that's a whole different story. All right, and from Lily Ray, she says, this UX, and she's got an AI mode example, it appears. and it looks like it's about a flight. It seems like she might be going to Stuttgart, and it says to book a site. Visit the Delta website directly. No citations. Use online travel agencies like Travelocity or Skyscanner and filter by Delta. No citations.
That is,
If you're telling somebody to go directly to a website, just put the link in there.
yeah.
You don't have to be that greedy.
Oh, did you see the third bullet? Use Google Flights to compare Delta.
Oh, there's a
prices.
link in that.
There's a link in
Strange.
that one.
Weird.
Oh,
Google Flights. There's a link.
Interesting.
All right. And for Merchant Center users, Google has a new promotion preview. So if you put a promotion in Merchant Center, you can now preview what that will look like, which is pretty nice. And Google is also testing swapping names underneath the URLs in the SERPs, it appears. I think this is dumb. That was a whole big thing that they pushed for. So now it'll show your URL and then your site name smaller, it appears underneath. Makes zero sense to me. If you're trying to show brands and things like that, put that first and then put the URL underneath it.
Yeah.
And that is it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
First up, guess what?
Chicken butt.
Chicken BH. In the coming months, all videos on Facebook will be shared as reels, eliminating the need to choose between uploading a video or a reel, which is a tough choice. So many people, I'm sure.
So
were
reel's
making.
just a video.
A reel is a video. A video is a reel. Any video on Facebook is a reel with the exception of live streams. That is still its own content type. It will still be surfaced in the Reels feed. So what does this
It's
mean?
funny that something that's real life isn't a reel.
Well, it's REAL.
You got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
I don't know. This will simplify things. I guess it's a single creative flow. Videos and reels were different before. Performance data will also be consolidated. So this is where you need to pay attention. Pay attention, everyone. Business Suite users will still be able to access historical metrics that are broken out by video versus reel when it was published through the end of this year. But going forward, all new videos will be considered reels and categorized as such in your analytics. So you're going to see a shift there. So just be aware. Another interesting update from Meta, there's some official guidance on where to post links. So apparently when you link in a caption on your post, it can be distracting and reduce your reach. That's a quote. This is according to a notification from some folks that are seeing an in-platform message that suggests linking in a comment on your Facebook post instead of in the caption. So I'm curious about the reach part. I don't know.
Yeah, can't they just turn that off?
Yeah, they're kind of insinuating, I think, that it is the algorithm, and data does suggest that. They have I didn't know about this, a widely viewed content report that they recently released, and it highlights the fact that 97.3, which is a very, very high percentage of all posts on Facebook in the US, go to updates that don't include a link.
How is anybody going to survive?
You just put it in the comments.
How is
Yeah.
All that happens is these AI agents steal your content and you can't even get people to your site.
Nope.
This is going to implode.
Yeah. I'm all for providing a link when it is helpful. I don't want to have to open a comment to get the
know.
link. I kind of hate that, actually. I feel like this is backwards.
People do this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Christy Carlson Romano does it.
Oh, Christy. CCR.
It's a long story. She's from Even Stevens, and for some reason, she's always on my
her.
Facebook feed. She's so thirsty.
What's Even?
Shia
Christy,
LaBeouf's sister.
Christy, please.
It was a Disney show when we were kids.
Oh.
And I think her husband's AI generated. But anyway, every post she does, the first comment is either a link or people try to get engagement in the first comment. I don't know why the internet is moving this way, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Put it there so I can see it. But Facebook will tell you.
You do it on
theory, it's
LinkedIn, don't
limiting
you?
reach.
I do, because you don't get reach for that.
Right.
Yeah,
But why
everybody-
don't they just
yeah.
turn that off?
It's so dumb.
Yeah, everybody does it on LinkedIn. But I feel like that was kind of a known thing, but for Meta, this is new on Facebook.
Wait, question. Does CCR show BCs on IG?
I follow her on Facebook.
Okay.
So IDK?
She's not that thirsty. She will do a post of her in a mini skirt and a crop top, and she's like, ooh, and then the caption will be like, hey, what's everybody doing this Saturday?
By the way, here's a link.
Then she has a super fan community.
Oh, are you in the super fan community?
No, but I send a
You should
screenshot
be.
to Jill Fetcher every time I get invited.
And that brings us to our real life segment. straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
For me this week, when traveling for work and not like taking PTO, I'm always reminded how much I love the Google Ads mobile app. Great for checking in.
Yes, it is.
But if I'm on PTO, uninstall.
Offload that. Yeah. For me, shout out Tables. He was working really hard last week. We had technical difficulties on the episode. He made it really funny. It was one of the funniest, probably the funniest virtual, like non-in-person episode that we've ever
It's
had.
amazing work because the vibes were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty
You wouldn't know. You would not know listening to it. So I appreciate Tables working hard.
And I ended up having to coach a soccer game and then go right back to the office after. And it was like 10 o'clock and I'm just doing pirate jokes by myself.
That made me laugh. I'm like, he has no audience right now. And I know that. And you just went for it. And I was so proud of you. You're so brave.
All right. And for me, something that will be hardly working, we talked about earlier, GSC. Like, just know things are changing there. The way that you report previously, don't beat yourself up. You're going to see a major change.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people,
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, there is a big story in Ad Week with a lot of buzz this week about how Bose has paused all paid search in half of U.S. markets. We saw this first from Jeff Ferguson, who gave a nice recap on LinkedIn because it is behind a payroll wall that I'm not paying for. So they're just doing an incrementality test. And the big example is Bose headphones. And Andrew Lolk had an interesting take.
I read this initial story and Andrew said everything I wanted to say.
Because my initial reaction was like, you're Bose. Like, easy for you to say, right? But Andrew says, the confusion for everyone here is that Bose headphones is not a traditional branded keyword. It's a mid-funnel keyword with tons of competition. The test has been done 1,000 times and organic will not cover such a competitive keyword sufficiently. Bose will lose sales on this if we look at it black and white. The thinking assumes there's nowhere else to buy Bose headphones. But as we all know, there are tons of places to buy Bose headphones. So the number of people going direct to Bose.com to buy headphones will drop. And then he says, maybe Bose doesn't care about that anyways. I actually think this is the wrong question entirely. The better question is, where is Bose's marketing budget best spent on paid search? A branded keyword like Bose headphones doesn't do much to expand the Bose brand. Instead, non-brand keywords like noise canceling headphones might be more net positive to get the Bose name out there. So if Bose has $1 million to spend on paid search, then on the whole, it might be a better decision to spend it on non-brand keywords completely.
Yeah, they have resellers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're bidding just on the brand name, like your resellers are already doing that.
Right.
And all you're trying to do is like get your margins up and having them purchase on Bose.com where they might already have like an Amazon account. What Andrew said is absolutely perfect. No notes. Like, yeah, try conquesting. Just because Bose says they're stopping spending on things doesn't mean that it's a good decision. It doesn't mean that that's the right thing for your company. It might help them out because they don't have to spend as much and they have all these resellers. If you don't have that, this is going to hurt you, A. B, if it has another term in there that could be picked up by Phrase Match or AI Max or PMax or Broad Match, like you do not want somebody to eat your lunch, basically. And because they have so many resellers, this could be a good move for them, but it doesn't mean it's a good move for you.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Glenn Gabe, the one and only Glenn Gabe. He was also on It's New podcast on 6/18 if you wanted to hear more about him and the AI overviews and the reporting in GSC. But the article is how Google's AI mode is tracked in Google Search Console, desktop, and mobile examples. It was from March. He's updated it with all the newest stuff. If you have any question at all, go check out gsqi.com. Thank you, Glenn.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. Jess, what will you be adding this week?
Shout out to my kids. I'm going with Ooh La La by Run the Jewels, clean version.
I will be adding Tyrant by Beyonce. Getting ready for the concert. Craig?
I'm going to go with Funeral by Phoebe Bridges.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
I can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin' the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck.
And we are back at it with Shoot the Heck to recap our fabulous trip to SMX Advanced in Boston.
Yeah, great to be back in person.
It was so great. I can't even.
Yeah.
We had so many technical issues, but I feel like the show was all right last week for what it was.
Our show?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell if you said great to be back in person, if you were talking about this moment recording in person or the SMX
I
being
thought
in
you meant the
person.
show.
Both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Electric, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of SMX?
I had the best time. It was so good seeing people. Everyone in this industry is just so nice.
Yeah.
In the PPC industry
Yeah.
or the SEO?
I didn't meet a bad SEO. I did meet a bad magician.
Oh, yeah.
No, Crystal was so nice. Morty was so nice. Barry was so nice.
Anu, first time I've ever met Anu
I was
in
starting
person.
with the SEOs because you asked.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Anu is the best.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely. Hostess with the mostest. It would not be, the event is not the same if she's not there. Like, just cancel it.
People would say that about you. You're so famous. So many people came up to us and they were like, shop. Other people were like, Marketing O'Clock, which I just loved. I thought it was so nice.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say, like, Dario Zanoni
Yeah.
came from Japan. It's the first time we've ever met in person. Just the nicest guy in the world.
So nice.
Yeah, so nice.
Mike Ryan
Yeah.
from Austria. Like, there were a lot of people made really far journeys just to get there.
Niels, wait, can I try and say his name? I was apparently one of the only
You were
people
the
that said it right,
closest.
but I keep forgetting how I said it. Roymans,
Yeah.
right? Niels
He was so
Roymans?
nice.
Yeah,
His
so
talk
nice.
was really good. You guys missed it because you had to go to the airport.
I was in
It's a
and
bummer.
out in like 26 hours. It was way too fast. I did a terrible job.
You did a great job.
I just had commitments that I wanted to uphold. And in hindsight, don't go to a conference for 26 hours.
Yeah.
I was supposed to meet Amy Hebden in person, and I just didn't see her the whole time.
She called you out on it too.
I know. I felt so
So
bad. I did
wonderful.
such a terrible job. I just was trying to do everything. And like we got in, we had a client meeting, which was a lunch, which was just delightful.
Mhm.
And then, I don't know, we did networking and PPC Greg.
He's just one of us.
He
Yeah,
is.
he
He
is.
rolled with us the whole time, which I
Yeah.
really loved. I just thought the coolest thing about it was that everyone's like, oh, you meet people that you know from the internet, which is true, but they are actually the same people that they are on the
Yeah.
internet. Everyone is so real and so positive and just open to sharing ideas. And I keep telling people like the energy was palpable in the room, but it was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so cool to be around everybody. I loved it.
We met Jordan, a listener, his boss, Jordan, as well. Just so many people. It was
And don't
amazing.
forget about America's sweetheart, Corey Henke.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
how
The
could you
nicest
forget?
man
The
I ever met.
nicest
was at
man
Brighton,
loves his
though.
children so much.
I didn't meet
go
him
to
at Brighton.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Harris and I shut the bar down with him at Brighton.
Oh, he's so nice.
Unbelievable.
He had a great talk too about YouTube.
Yeah. And everybody's always like, kids. And Corey's like,
Oh,
this is what life's about.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
the smile on his face talking about his kids. I was like glowing for him. I have my own kids and I wasn't smiling that big.
Yeah.
He just
I know.
loves it. Yeah.
I want to go to his kids' games
Yeah.
when they have games or whatever they have.
Now I feel like anyone I'm forgetting about, I'm going to feel bad. Also, so you guys had to leave early and I stayed until the bitter end. Not that it was bitter at all.
Bittersweet.
But there was a moment where I was eating lunch and like you guys weren't there. And I just feel like a year ago that would have made me so nervous. But I just have like my clique.
Yeah,
Like I was with Amit and Jill and Anu, and Amy. It was such a fun PPC girls table.
Totally.
Yeah.
I met Lily Ray in the bathroom.
Oh, Lily
Yeah.
Ray.
Lily Ray.
I was too nervous to talk.
I know. I saw her across the room and I gasped.
No, we were washing our hands at the same time, and I just looked over and I was like, Lily, I'm going to be this person. I just want to say hi. I'm Jess from Marketing O'Clock. And she knew who we were, of course. And she was like, oh, I should probably watch my mouth. You guys, say everything that I say. I was like, please don't watch your mouth. Like, this is the material for the show. We love it. And then we got into this whole philosophical conversation about how you should live your truth. And she really inspired me. And this was all while we were washing our hands. And that's the magic of SMX.
You've never met her?
Never met her.
Really?
I saw her. I'm just too nervous.
She's really cool.
Beautiful and really cool.
She had amazing shoes
I'm
on.
sure she's so nice.
On the show, I come off as like an extrovert. I'm like a huge introvert. And if you don't come up and like talk to me, I'm like, oh, this person probably hates me.
Oh,
That's just the way I think.
I don't get that about you, but I've known you a long time.
Can I go with a couple of funny stories?
Yeah.
I told this on It's New. I was in the bathroom. There's a line for the urinals. And in the bathroom, I don't do like urinal talk or anything like that usually,
Usually.
I mean, it's just weird, right? And so there's multiple urinals and then there's a line. And I'm in the line for urinals and somebody behind me comes up and is like, hey, I love your videos. And like nobody's talking in the bathroom. And it was Eldar. He was a super nice guy. We were talking for a bit. But I'm like, oh, thank you so much, whatever. And then I hear this voice go, hey, do you guys want me to take a picture of you in front of the urinals?
In front of the urinals was part
with
of the
people peeing there.
Did the person say in front of the urinals or did you add that in?
In front of the urinals.
Was it
That was
American
uttered?
Urinal?
No, it wasn't. But you know who it was?
Morty.
Barry Schwartz. And I'm like, Barry.
That was my second guess.
I'm like, Barry, that's illegal, brother. Because like there's people peeing in there and there's somebody talking about taking pictures in the urinals. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
He was just being funny, right? Or did he mean it?
I think he's just being funny. And then,
Either
so
way.
I was like trying to make it like,
You
so
never
people
know
weren't
with Barry.
calling
That's
the
true.
cops. And then again, I was like in and out of this so fast. It was such a bad idea. I get into the hotel room. I drop my stuff off. And Morty had a cancellation of his flight. And I'm like, hey, Morty, dude, and he's trying to get a different hotel and stuff. I'm like, I registered for like double beds. Just sleep up in the double bed. Don't spend money. Like I have got a double bed or 2 beds, whatever. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. Like I appreciate it, but I got a hotel already. And then I get up to my room. I'm only there one night. And I realize I only had a single bed. So like if Morty took me up on that offer, I don't know if he'd be going head to toe or what. Or just, I'd have a cuddle
Getting
partner
cozy
or
with-
something.
yeah.
But the whole time I was trying to convince him. I'm like, dude, just come on up. Like whatever. And then I get back to, because I just dumped my stuff when I got in. I ran down to the conference floor. But I almost was cozying up with Morty overnight.
That's amazing. I had not heard that story yet. That's so good.
But yeah, we saw obviously Nicole, who was formerly on the show. It was a
Mhm.
fantastic time. I'm sure we missed a billion people, but
There's so many people. It was awesome.
wonderful. Highly recommend.
Yeah. And the talks were great too. Like the people were amazing, but the content of the show was quality. And I'm not just saying that because Shep is sitting here. Her talk was amazing. Referenced in several other talks, which was cool. But it was great.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time, and to still go somewhere and learn new things is a beautiful thing.
And Shep was a boss too.
Absolutely.
During her talk, Anu gave her a great intro. Shep went up to give her a hug, and the mic got caught on Anu's hair and fell off of Shep. And Shep tried to put it back on. I think you had it upside down the first time, and you couldn't get it done right. And I'm like, oh no, this could be like really bad. And Shep gets up on stage and is like, hi, I'm Christine Zernheld, and I don't know how to use a microphone. And like, then just like hit the ground running. It was awesome job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something to behold.
Thank
It was
you.
amazing. You did great.
I'm glad you guys were there.
You shined.
And I'm glad all the PPC queens were in the front row to help me with the mic. I really
Yeah.
And another funny thing, you might have referenced Ginny Marvin
a million times.
a dozen
And
times.
she was in the room. I was so intimidated.
I was sitting next to her while you were giving the speech. And I'm like, halfway through, I'm like, Ginny, this is like a quarter about you. And she's like laughing. But no, it was great. And then
Yeah.
she referenced you in her speech.
Yeah.
She
And
did.
her
in her
speech-
keynote.
There were really good insights in that also. Like she needs to come every year. Fabulous event.
Yeah.